Hello, welcome to Wednesday night drawing by hand, an initiative to see ourselves on the globe, but it's Thursday, so it's coming to you a day late. Sorry about that. But tonight's going to be an easy night. We're not going to do too much drawing, just some labeling on one of our previous weeks, on the previous weeks. The last one's drawing, uh, where we combined writing and drawing. And the space that we see for ourselves in what we want to see into fruition. So grab your pencil or your pens or your colors and let's get started. And we're going to touch on human migration. It's a topic that I love to explore and to study. It's one of my older studies. And if you stick around and keep joining these, you'll journey back to some human origins studies that we can do together. Okay, thanks. Let's get started. While you get your supplies, I'll give you a minute. Okay, so if you don't know which way north is, now is the time to find out. You can just go with the overriding north. So it's just facing your doorway or your main way into the space that you have can be another way of deciphering a north energy that we've been working with. And we've explored north, south, east, west a little bit. And it's a big premise of New York Tour's vision strategy. But sometimes it's not as important as the overriding directional orientation. So, but it can help for us to know where we are in terms of north, south, east, west, and to know where we started, and speaking tonight on a human scale, knowing where we started as a human civilization in Africa is quite helpful to a number of things. So, especially in our own plight, which tend to be about bringing things into fruition that haven't been before. That's because we're brilliant. The human species is magnificent and genius, and we can do so much. And so we have, and we are, and we will continue. So choosing the color that you see below you as a foundation color marks south on this drawing where you're on the globe, and we've crossed our longitude and latitude lines to make this square, and we can see that there's strength in that when we study the symbolism of a square, and also when we just know that the intersection of those things make us within that more significant, more important. And so let's mark south on that globe with a big old S in that color. And then the color that we see above us, mine is yellow. Let's mark north. And then I have blue. Facing north. So we have to do facing north because that's the way that east-west is determined. So facing north, east is to the right, and I have mine in blue. And west, I have facing from my left, and I have that in green. Okay, so that's facing north. So I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to put an arrow for facing north. So when my orientation is facing north, those are the colors as I experience them in thinking of colors that influence, colors that can be influencing to me or encouraging to me. And when I am facing north, east is to my right. No, my left. So facing north, east is to my right, and west is to my left. And west is to my left. Right. I don't know why it gets interesting. I mean, gets confusing. But okay. So that is one orientation that is going to be valuable to understand. And how can it be valuable to understand right now? Well, I believe there's power in these places where the energies combine, where all those latitude lines meet up in the north and south poles, where they all converge to and come from. And then the same, well, with longitude, it's a little different because they just keep going round. Well, there is the prime meridian. So east and west of the prime meridian. I always get them confused, so let me look it up. Okay, yeah, I thought it was this way. I knew I was saying it wrong. So longitude runs north south. I mean long. so uh, so and then latitude runs east to west parallel to the equator. So latitude might dispense the energies a little bit more, while longitude, north south, can converge north and south to form strength centers, and also can convey from there. So a lot of my vision strategy exercises try to tap into that. And where we align north south, those are stronger energies. And then east west just falls naturally to the sides of us. But so I'll quickly do one of the exercises of north south, east west. I've done it before on one of the previous weeks, so I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to do that right now. But on one of the previous weeks, I didn't feel like doing the drawing, so I took it outside. I took the opportunity to do some directional vision strategy outside. So it's on the, it's here on YouTube. You can find it in Vision Strategy Kicks Yoga Ass channel. Okay. So it's VS Kicks Yoga Ass. Okay, so if you should like to get in line with north south and try some exercises in that direction, you might notice a difference. You might want to even just to get in line with those, with that lateral, and straighten up your posture. That's a good start to any exercise. New York Gold Tours Vision Strategy emphasizes the need to do that before you start your exercise. We center and align, and it's part of getting in alignment. So when we are in alignment, not just with ourselves and our own bodies, but with the forces that are governing, then we become that much more empowered. So that's my advice, is if you want to face north and straighten up that way. I'm going to face north. And I just took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And it was very relaxing, and it was very calming to get in that plane of, it can be neutrality. It depends how we look at it at any given time. But it is part of being here on Earth. We have many forces that are governing, and it's good if we harness the connection to those that brings us. Okay, so now in terms of the drawing that we were doing the previous week, in a previous week, we can add some, we already did some shading, but we're going to add some shading and shadow Well, we need the mirror to be able to do that, but maybe instead of that, we'll do the pen. We'll go over some of the lines with pen. And while we draw that onto our self-portrait, going over with some lines of ink, we should think about human migration and how we humans have gone far. We've gone far from where we started, but not that far. It's like when we say it's a small world, but it's pretty big. I think that with AI and automation, we really are on a new cusp of going further in that distance. And we can think about that for ourselves. We can think about that for the world as we draw onto our self-portrait in ink. Whatever we make of that, if we have a positive take of that or a not so positive take of that, we can think about that, and we can develop even more empathy for ourselves, or just, it doesn't have to be empathy, it could just be just relating to, so, or understanding of. Okay, we'll work on that more. Oh, my earlobes are looking like they're not even, and yes, they are. Okay. So we'll work on this more as time goes by. But it was good to do a little bit of that, a little bit of orienting north, south, east, west. And I'm very sorry I missed last night's weekly drawing of this initiative. But better late than never, as they say, and we shall go forward trying to learn together and make it a better place on earth for all. Have a great night. And if you're serious about New York Gold Tour's vision strategy, maybe invest in a compass. I take mine everywhere I go. I don't always use it, but it's there with me in my work tote. And so there are different ones, different types you can get. As long as you get one that shows true north, I think it's fine. I don't really know the types, but I'll talk about that next week.